Hey everybody, how's it going? Pardon my goofy look right now. I just got back from the airport. I was at a wedding this weekend, had a great time. It was very nice. Got to see my family and just take a step back from the internet. You know, that's always a fun thing to do. I haven't done this in a while. And what this is basically kind of open the door a little bit and talk openly with the people who view my accounts, the Twitter, the Twitch, and the YouTube, and people who are part of the Discord and everything. If you were here for a long time, if you came to this channel before before the last year, you'll probably remember where I used to give these motivational speeches in my streams, and I used to have a lot of advice talk on my streams, and I've kind of kept that consistent on the Twitter, but I've kind of let that tradition go a little bit, and I kind of just want to reground myself. Talk about that a little bit because it's something I miss and I want to explain why. And I kind of want to talk about why I haven't really been streaming as often as well. And I think I just needed to take a step back and think about things again and find some gratitude in what I have here. I'm not going to get into details, but this has been the hardest year of my entire life. 2022 has been really, really challenging. Mentally, physically, creatively. A lot has changed in my mind. And there's been some times where I got really pessimistic and really depressed and very anxious. But I want to change my frame of mind a bit. I want to look at things through a different lens because I think for the longest time I was convincing myself that things had to be one way, or that things were only one way, or that my future was destined to be only one specific way. I think a bad habit that I fell into was not keeping my options open and not letting things unfold naturally. I kept jumping to conclusions about this is how my future will play out, and this is why things are bad, and this is what bad is. But I think what I've learned recently, and I've been reading some books. Yeah, I know, the gamers started reading books. What a crazy concept, right? But I've started reading these books about self-improvement and reorienting your perspective, and I found that when you measure your life on these specific constants, these specific measurements, you can get caught up in how your life is defined, and you just trap yourself in these narrow walls. And what I've sort of learned is that life doesn't have to be so narrow. Life is actually extremely, extremely broad and flowing. And by setting up these barriers around my life, I sort of define what is success, what is being a good person to others, what is all of these things that make me who I am. I kind of trap myself in a box. And I think it's a matter of thinking that too many people kind of fall into. And I think it's only natural for people to fall into because that's just kind of how we define reality. But once you sort of wake yourself up out of, keeping yourself locked into these narrow lock and key of what is life, what is good, what is, meaningful to you, if you can escape that, I feel that there's so much more unlimited potential that you can find in your life. And also something else that I've accepted and become okay with is that I'm not extraordinary. Pretty much no one is extraordinary. It's very, very, very rare to be extraordinary. And that realization is one of the most freeing things that you can absolutely accept for yourself, is realizing that you're not extraordinary. Because if you're extraordinary, if you tell yourself, or you try to convince yourself that you are, you put so much pressure on yourself that if you're not doing the best that you absolutely can be, you're somehow falling short of what you're supposed to be, this extraordinary person. Rather, it's important to see yourself as someone who's good at some things, who's bad at some other things, and that's okay. And just accepting yourself to be an average, normal person. Because when you are the average, normal person, you attain an essential thing, and that is humility. You become humbled. You become humbled by that fact that you don't have to be this spectacular figure. You can just be you. And people will still love you. Just because you're not extraordinary, spectacular, above the average in a spectacular way, doesn't mean that you can't have a wonderful, meaningful life where you can just feel fulfilled and happy and do the things that you love and be good at them, but not feel the need that you have to be some overachiever, some grandiose perfectionist person where everything has to go your way or everything has to go right or you're a failure. You will fail at things, but that doesn't mean that your value as a human has gone away. You still achieve that. something that I really want to start implementing in my life. It's a book by Daniel Quinn. I haven't read it yet, but I will be reading this book. It's this quote, and this quote has sort of changed my perspective. If they give you lined paper, write sideways. If they give you lined paper, write sideways. And basically what that means is do it your own way. Do it your own way. Don't trap yourself in these boxes. When life hands you these boxes, when you're given the cards that you must, when you're given the cards, don't just sob and complain and sulk over the cards that you were dealt. Instead, realize and accept your responsibility and accept your hand that you were dealt in life. Accept your life scenario and situation. Take responsibility, and then you play your hand with your decisions. You take matters into your own hands and live out the life that you were meant to. And don't trap yourself into any boxes, because there's unlimited potential. It's limitless. The amount of things that you can do, the amount of things you can strive to be, it'll be hard. It'll be hard work, and you will fail along the way, but that's okay. Since you're not some extraordinary being, you're just an average Joe like everyone else, there's no pressure. When you fail, everyone fails. Don't feel bad about it. Because if you fail and you get up again and you continue to go and you keep striving towards the things that you know are meaningful, you will find success. And I can guarantee that. And you'll be a lot happier too. At least it's made me a lot happier. And I think that sharing that with you is a good thing. Now, I want to stream more. It's been a little bit harder. My motivation hasn't been as strong for it, because when you do something for a long time, hedonic treadmill, this concept basically where the thing that makes you really happy when it's new sort of just becomes normalized in your life. So it's no longer as exciting as it used to be for me. However, I still really love it. And now that I'm not getting so stressed out about all these negative things, I think that I'm going to be able to do it a little bit more often. I'm not going to force myself, because I've now learned to accept the terms and accept my limitations as a human being on this planet. And I'm just going to do what feels right and feels natural. I'll end this off by saying, ever since February, me and a team of people have been working on something extraordinary. I just went on about not being, we're all kind of average people, but it's something that I'm proud of. And it's something that everyone else can be proud of who worked on it, and everyone else in this community will be proud of as well. If you are a fan of Stuck the Duck, if you are a fan of anything that I have done in the past, this is my magnum opus. This is my gift to you. And while I can't talk about the specifics yet, it's not too much longer until you guys are going to find out what it is. And I'm very proud to show it to the world. Thank you for listening to my little mini rant here. I just wanted to be more transparent about why things have sort of changed over the years and why my enthusiasm has sort of shifted. I want to pursue honesty, and I want to be honest with you. I want to be transparent, and I want to set an example. I will fail. I will mess up. I will upset people, and I will do wrong, but I will strive for glory, and I will strive to do good, and I will strive to be a good human to the people around me, at least based on the terms that I understand best. And if I can further advance those terms and get a better understanding of how to be better, even more so than I am now, that's what I strive for. Always greatness. You'll never be perfect, but you can always, always, always inch closer to where you want to go. Thank you.